What's up, everybody? Hopefully, we've got a good enough connection that you're going to be able to hear this and see this and all that kind of stuff. So at some point, if you end up jumping on, by all means, shout out so that you actually know that this is working. I am here in, how do you pronounce, is it Estevan? Estevan, Saskatchewan. And I'm here on work and business and blah, 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 but we're here with the podcast as well. And I happened to be driving around this morning and drove past this beautiful, beautiful shop, and my mind blanks out. Soul Hideout, right?
Yep.
And this is the owner, Roxy. Say hi, Roxy.
Hi.
So, Roxy, first thing I want to ask you is, how long have you guys been open?
I've had the shop for 3 years in June.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you from here?
No, I grew up in Banff, Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when I was driving around because it doesn't appear to be big enough of a place to have a shop like this. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but I think a shop like this is more about when I started this shop, it's about a place of acceptance. It's about a place of just come in, have a tea, whether you're having a good day, a bad day. It's everybody's shop. It's just a place, and Hideout is it's not a secrecy thing, but this is a safe place and a place of acceptance. And I don't think any place is too small for that.
For sure. And it's a beautiful shop. I just spent the last little bit walking through, and you have everything here. You've got incense and crystals and books, and this is my kind of place. So I was really excited when I found it. I'm going to ask you about your spiritual journey, because that's one of the things that we kind of talk about on the podcast. So tell me a little bit about, first off, I guess, would you classify yourself as like a spiritual person?
I believe in a little bit of everything. Certainly there is a God or something. You have to believe in something because miracles happen. I've seen it in my own life. My life has not been easy. So I do believe that everybody has a right to believe in something, and they need to believe in something. It makes existence worth it.
Yes.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Because the things that you have in your shop here are, when I say spiritually based, it's such a, I get tired of labeling things because it's silly, right?
Yeah.
But it's a way for people to kind of understand, I guess, what we're talking about. And you've got things related to chakras and meditation and all this kind of stuff that we talk about all the time on the podcast. What is your what's your most valued spiritual practice? Just you alone.
My most valued spiritual practice? I have hobbies, and I think everyone needs, and I think hobby is almost not giving it enough credit. I have things in my life that I've always loved. I love artwork. I love creating.
Are you an artist? And everybody
I
is
come
in
from a
some way,
long
right?
line of artists. I've been told I can create. Everyone can, though. So that's not, I don't believe that art is a thing that can be created. Each person is unique in their likes and dislikes, and everything that is created by someone is beautiful to someone else. So when people say or come in and they're like, I don't know how to meditate. How do I meditate? I always say, don't put so much pressure on yourself. And what is it that you like to do when you were 5 years old? Go back in time, figure out what it is, what you like to do when you were 5 years old. And I can promise you that you still have a talent in it, and you're still going to love it. Meditation, to me, personally, is when I am engaged in something that I absolutely love so very much that someone has to, Roxy, and I go, what? That's meditation to me. Yeah. When you're doing something that you absolutely are engaged in. It doesn't necessarily mean sitting on a fancy cushion chanting. It does for some.
I totally agree.
I think it's find what it is that makes you go somewhere else for a while and do that. Whatever that looks like to you. That's why in this store, there's things in this store that I don't necessarily practice. It is my job as the owner of the shop to have knowledge about the product, but I don't do all of it.
Yeah. If you were to pick one thing in the shop that you really kind of are passionate about, that you really incorporate into every aspect of your life, what would it be?
Probably the rocks.
The crystals
and stuff. The crystals, and the crystals, if they have special powers, I always say, again, it's like, it can't hurt. It cannot hurt to have a crystal or a gemstone or a piece of potash in your pocket if you believe. It's all in the belief of healing. And if that makes you feel good just to touch it, I have a special stone. It's probably an agate. I can't tell you exactly what it is. I believe it's an agate, but my grandmother picked it on the family farm. It was given to me by her. It looks like a heart. It's she had tumbled it herself. That's the rock I carry.
Yeah.
And it gives me comfort. And it makes me feel better.
Those are some of my favorite pieces, are the ones that I find that you can't really exactly say what it is. But, you could guess, we could try to, because we're all into stones and crystals.
Again,
and
we're
things
labeling.
like that. Exactly. It's all
Right.
about what that stone, I feel, does for me, my connection to
Right.
it, all that kind of stuff.
And there are people that come in, and that is absolutely, and then the reason rocks are close to me is the nature aspect of it. I'm very elemental, elemental, but the earth, nature, animals are my world. Just respecting the earth is so important to me. That's why rocks, to me.
Yeah.
Call them what you will, crystals, gems, rocks.
Do you have a lot of people that come into the shop that are kind of on their own spiritual journey, in a sense,
Absolutely.
and looking for guidance
Yes.
and answers?
Yep.
Here in the community, because I've only been here for a day and a half or something, I don't even remember how long I've been here. Do you guys have anything, like, do you host things here? Do you have stuff that goes on? Is there anything locally like that where people kind of meet and gather?
I have hosted things here. More so, there's a lot of people, like when the shop opened, there wasn't a whole lot of, now there is a lot of people that practice Reiki. There's people that teach people to practice Reiki. There's a large reflexology group now in town. The reason you're in town,
Yeah.
things are so, there is a bigger community of, and again, I don't want to label, like, it's just a thing. It's what you like, right?
Yeah.
Half of the stuff in here, to be quite honest, I just like the look of it. Because of where I grew up, this was the decor in many of the homes. Mm-hmm. It gives me comfort. That's as simple as that.
That's a good thing.
Incense, always burned it. Grew up with it.
Yeah.
But it's also, to me, it's a healing. And again, I always tell people, like, appeal to all of your senses. When you think of relaxation, which is the big thing, the big thing is coming in and not complicating and saying, I need to find myself. I need a break from everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what smells do you like? And what sounds do you like? And what do you like to look at? And what do you like to feel? Those are the things you need. And make a special space for yourself if you're able. If not, take one. Put a stick of incense on lit in your car pocket. Do little things that, like, pick up a rock, like, and hold it. Like, there are opportunities every day to give ourselves comfort. And do we really ever know who we are or why we're here?
No.
Sometimes we don't have to complicate life that much.
Exactly.
It's like, just be.
I think we
Just
make
do
it
your
way
best.
more complicated
We
than
always
need
do.
to.
And
Yeah.
you find that a lot in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, simplify. Simplify. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
It's not always, it doesn't have a great meaning sometimes. Sometimes it just, the door fell off. That's all. And you walk away and you
Yeah.
go, and then you go paint a picture and move on.
One of the things that I love that you said, because you've had, like, I love when I get to randomly just walk into a shop or meet somebody, because you have beautiful stuff that you're talking about. But one of the things that I really, really liked was the recommendation, or kind of telling people to think back to when they were a child and what it was that they loved to do, and what, and then reconnect with that in some way, shape, or form. I think that's a beautiful thing. For me personally, I think that when we're children, we are completely still connected to whatever source, God, the universe, whatever we want to call it. I think we're still connected to that as a child. And then we grow up and life gets in the way and we get in our heads and all that kind of stuff happens. But for you, what's the thing that you like from back in the day that you can reconnect with as a child, that you kind of, is it
The
art?
things I like doing, art and music.
Art and music?
Music, I can listen to music. I like to play guitar. Not well, but I do it. Any sort of music. Any sort of music. I've got Gershwin on today, which really is random, but that's how I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
So I put on whatever. It's not necessarily new age music when you come in here. A lot of the times it is.
I liked that,
But-
though. I liked when I walked in and you had this music playing.
It's Gershwin. It's a Gershwin day. It's kind of cloudy
Yeah.
out, and this just makes me feel good. So
Yeah, it is good music.
there is no. It's so important to know there's no right or wrong. As long as you're not harming anyone or harming yourself, do what makes you feel good. It's your life to live. Live it. But prior to having this place, I had an executive job. I made very good money. I had holidays, 6 weeks of holidays. I had benefits. I did what I wanted, basically. And I had a passion for it for 5.5 years. It was the last 6 months of it that I didn't bounce out of bed anymore. I did this to see if I could run a business. I wanted to challenge myself. Go challenge yourself. That's what makes life good. Challenge yourself. You know, and some days running a business, you're like, oh, dear. But I live for that. I live for that. I live for like because once you get over that, you did it. And it's like, turns out I can. And guess what?
Huh?
And then you move on to something else. This won't be forever either.
Yeah.
Like, really, why stay?
Well, it's a beautiful place, and I absolutely love it. I'm really glad that I found it. It's always that, for me, it's about the synchronistic things that happen in life.
Right.
And, do you know what I mean? I was actually looking for a place to get coffee, and I turned wrong, and I just happened to see your shop. And
Here we are.
It worked out beautifully.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Craig.
I think, yes, baby, I'm going to find you a crystal here. I already found one that I think is going to come home to you. Everybody, if you're in this random place that I'm in, then please come check it out. What's your guys' like? You have a Facebook page or website, anything like that?
Facebook is Soul Hideout. We're on Instagram, Soul Hideout.
Perfect.
It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much. And everybody go out and have a beautiful, wonderful day. It's cold outside up here in Canada, but wherever you're at, I'm sure it's probably warm. So thank you so much. And thank you, Roxy.
Thanks.